Hi, and welcome to part 2 of this stalking series. First of all, I'm going to touch again on why stalking is necessary. It's really, I think, a shamanic term. But the reason we stalk ourselves is so that we can use the energy that has been preoccupied in circular ways in the mind, so that we can free that energy and use it for spiritual or energetic purposes. Okay, so I'm going to share with you and invite you to try out a few exercises today that will be very useful, most likely on a daily basis for some time, or on a recurring basis for some time. The first is that we often in our lives believe that we know better, and we will spend a lot of time in our minds worrying about someone, often someone that's close to us, obviously, about what they're doing, and wishing that they would come back to the right path according to your belief systems. And a lot of energy gets wrapped up in that, in these thought loops of, oh my God, what are they doing now? And if they could only just, or if they would just, and is she still doing that, and whatever else. The truth is, we all have our own paths and our own experiences that we need to experience in this lifetime. And sometimes we need to crash, and sometimes we need to try something that doesn't work, and sometimes actually it's not good. But you worrying about them or you wishing they would correct themselves, it doesn't only take energy from you, it actually does not help the other person. On the contrary, the best thing is in your mind is to understand that they have their own connection to Creator or universal energy or God or whatever you know is out there that is bigger than us. And detach in your mind. And so the first exercise that we're going to do is that. How to detach. Okay, so yes, most of the time, or actually all of the time, this does not help the other person when you're sending this energy out. On the contrary, it takes energy from them. And also, a lot of the time, it can impact their own judgment. It can impact their self-confidence because they feel it. On some level, they will feel it. So these are all I want to call them energy cords. And the first thing that we need to start being aware of, and this is really an awareness exercise for every day until the mind gets used to that. When you catch yourself sending out this cord to somebody where your energy is wrapped up, your thought energy is wrapped up in how they should be doing things differently, what I suggest is stop, sit down, and in your mind's eye, literally reel the cord back in. That's number one. Number two is find in yourself, in your body, in your physical being, and this is not in the head area, but generally speaking, we're looking at the chest area or solar plexus area. Find a space where you can rest for a moment, where you can rest your mind for just a moment and take a deep breath. A lot of the time when we are sending energy out like this, it actually comes with self-judgment. So as we come to our heart space, rather than looking at self-judgment or looking at any kind of judgment, I want you to gather this energy that you've just reeled back in and direct it toward a project that you love or something that you are working on that you can put love and focus into. And forgive yourself. And whenever you sense yourself doing that, just reel in the cord, take a moment, find some breath, find a resting space in yourself, and redirect the energy. Okay, now the other part of this is if you're sensing the pressure or the guilt, it's often related to a feeling of guilt. When somebody's putting pressure on you or you sense somebody's discontent with where you're at or what you're doing. It doesn't matter how you feel about it right now. What you want to do is sit down for a moment, sense where this pressure or this energy cord is attaching to you. And it's often a physical location, maybe around the neck area. And I want you just, again, find a quiet space and see if that cord needs pulling out or cutting. That's often one of the two, or maybe even both. And once you're there in that space, I want you to cut it or pull it out and literally in your mind's eye say, this is not mine. This does not belong to me. It belongs to somebody else. May it go back where it came from. And then you can say this is not mine in your mind several times if you need. And then just put some light around you. Connecting to your heart space. Connect to your center, connect to your heart space, and recognize that you are connected. You are connected to creation, to universal spirit. And I want you to sense that and know that, and that you are going to make the right choices from that direction, not from this direction, if that makes any sense. This also has something to do with trust, trusting in yourself. All these things will take some time. So I suggest that really honestly, every time you feel that, make sure you sit down and refocus, cut off the cord, refocus. The last thing I wanted to touch on was the exercise I spoke about briefly in the first video, a knowing of how you do not want to appear in the world. Whether that could be poor or needy, that could be weak, that could be aggressive, whatever it is, or old, who knows. Whatever it is, yes, you could potentially make that into a stalking action by actually going out and showing that to the world. I do not recommend that if you are energetically sensitive. I want you to connect with that, what you don't want the world to see in your mind, and just make it into an orb of some kind, an energetic thing. Literally take it away from your body, and in your mind's eye, look at this thing, whatever form, whatever shape or color it has. Sometimes you can actually look at it as like it has a certain, to me, I often get a certain fabric or something like plastic or rock or metal or whatever it is. And I want you to pull this out and look at it from a distance. Become aware who you're hiding this from. Is it from the world in general? Is it from a certain group of people or a certain person? As you look at what it is made out of, also look to see if it's maybe a box that you can open. Whatever it may be. If it's openable, open it and check and see what is inside. And now find it in yourself. Make a decision or find the will in yourself to release that. You can take it and literally cut it off you or pull the cord off you and put it into a imaginary sacred fire. Watch it melt away. And then come back to your heart space. Just for a moment. Bring your hand to your heart and let your heart be okay with this, because it always feels like a loss when this happens. So take some time and bring some love to your heart space. Bring some light here. And remind your heart of its strength and its ability to move forward, and your desire to move forward with love. Take a deep breath or two and relax, release into this sense of space and sovereignty. All right, that concludes my third exercise on stalking. Next video I will be posting will be a nidra on flying free. This has a lot to do with detaching or detachment and recognizing what there is, the beauty of that detachment. All right, I hope to see you then. I hope you got something out of this video, and I wish you well.